FreezeME is a three-dimensional platformer developed by Rainy Night Creations. The game has some clear inspirations from titles like Super Mario 64 and Sunshine. In fact, mechanically it controls almost identically to Super Mario 64, with the addition of a camera that allows the player to freeze certain objects and enemies in place. This freezing mechanic is used in various locations, generally to assist in platforming or to avoid damage from certain obstacles. As with other games in the genre, you are tasked with collecting a number of items to progress. In this case, golden cubes. Each world in the game, except for the last one, has 10 of these golden cubes to collect. Similarly to Super Mario 64, the player selects a specific cube to go for at the start of the stage, which presents a short cinematic detailing its location. On top of the golden cubes, each world has a number of green coins scattered around. Some are just placed within the levels themselves, though most are obtained from friendly pig NPCs. These pigs will detail a short side objective for the player. For example, an early mission requires the player to go through 4 checkpoints within a given time frame. Others involve finding another NPC and taking a picture of them, then returning to the quest giver. Overall, these side objectives are largely varied, which certainly helps in keeping the player interested. When 10 green coins are collected, the player can exchange them for 1 golden cube. Outside of the designated levels, there is a hub world. In most games, there is a purpose for a hub world, though FreezeME doesn't really benefit from having one. It is only there to serve as a means to go from one level to the next, whereas in a game like Super Mario 64, there are external objectives. A simple level select would have worked much better if the developer wasn't going to do anything with the hub world. Ultimately, all the hub world does is eat up time, especially when you factor in that you are sent back out of a world after obtaining a golden cube. When enough golden cubes are amassed, challenges are unlocked. These present a short level that deviate largely from the main game. The first one, for example, puts the player in a 2-dimensional space, with the objective of collecting 20 blue coins. Each challenge will grant a handful of green coins. Each stage has a unique boss, though these boss fights are almost certainly the weakest area of the game. Each fight plays out like a puzzle, and the solutions can feel a bit obtuse at times. Unfortunately, none of the bosses really engage the player, and the game would have been better off without them entirely. Substituting the boss fights for more platforming would have been a much better fit. After around 60% into the game, you unlock the ability to fly. Regrettably, flying really trivializes the remainder of the campaign. FreezeME should have taken another page from Super Mario 64 in this regard. Limiting flying to a power-up like the winged cap would have made much more sense. As it is now, one can simply fly up to a hard-to-reach golden cube or green coin with little to no effort. On the topic of length, FreezeME certainly is shorter than the big-budget titles that it draws its inspiration from, though this is to be expected. There are 40 golden cubes to collect, with 8 of these being obtained from green coins. Most players should be able to complete the game in about 6 to 8 hours, which is fair given the price of $14 and the small development team. Overall, FreezeME is an admirable emulation of early 3D platformers, and it's clear that a lot of love went into the project, though it comes with a few glaring shortcomings. Those that have a place in their heart for the 3D Super Mario games and even other 3D platformers like Spyro and Banjo-Kazooie would be well advised to give this title a shot.